Welcome to Event Radio, covering local drag racing, stock car racing, motorcycles, go-karts. If it's got wheels and you can race it, you'll hear about it here. Event Radio is motorsports radio on steroids. Now, let's join your hosts, Spivvy Williams and Terrible T Guy.
All right, guys, welcome to the next edition of Event Radio. This is going to be sort of a different show for you. The gentleman we're going to introduce you to has worn a lot of hats, but he is evidently what you would call a man's man. And what I'm going to tell you there is that he probably gets done what we all like to rear back and say or think we could get done, and we're not cool enough to do it.
And it works when he gets it done.
Yeah, well, but no, that ain't it. That ain't where I'm going from, T-Bone. We all talk a good game in front of our wives on how cool we are and all that stuff until they show up. And then we sort of tend to backslide just a little. Well, our guest, he not only talked the talk, but he walked the walk. Now, where I'm coming from, he and his lovely wife, Julie, got married, like all couples do, of course. But instead of the normal honeymoon that normal wives want.
We don't know that many normal people, Spivvy.
Well, I know, and I'm not sure we know Jerry that well. but anyway, he talks his wife into going on their honeymoon, but at the Hot Rod Power Tour. Now, you know, that's pretty. T, you couldn't pull that off. Well, I couldn't pull that off.
Julie, she's if you don't know Julie, she's up for anything like that with Jerry. Hot rod,
yeah,
motorcycle,
I know, and she's a very sweet lady, and you know, but for him to pull that off, and I can see him sitting around a bunch of guys saying, well, by golly, this is the way it's going to be, and then to actually do it, that's pretty cool. I think that's a pretty good deal.
Well, that means you got a pretty good wife there, too.
Yeah, I would say so. But this gentleman has wore a lot of hats. He's done a lot of motorcycle racing. He's done a lot of custom car stuff. He's a very accomplished powder coater. He does all kinds of really neat stuff and got the coolest 59, I think it is 59 or 60 Chevy wagon in the world that they took on a power tour. But we're gonna talk to Mr. Jerry. Tell me how to say it again. Meyergard. I knew that. Daggone it. But anyway, I know. But we're going to talk to him a little about all the accomplishments he's done and all the fun stuff, and mainly we're going to learn how you be that much of a guy. You know, to get that done, he's got to have something that don't show. You know, I don't know what it is, but anyway, we're going to talk to him and find out what it takes to be just that cool, or as cool as the rest of us would like to be. We're going to take just a real quick break to introduce our sponsors to you. You're on Event Radio. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Quick Fuel Technology, the innovators in fuel systems, introduces the latest in high-temperature coating technology for select street and performance carburetors. QFT's new Black Diamond series features a unique satin black Teflon coating that provides award-winning good looks and lasting durability. The Black Diamond series is impact-resistant, repels all underhood chemicals, and reduces fuel temperature by 6% for improved performance. The Black Diamond series by Quick Fuel, the ultimate in form and function.
Yes, sir. All right, guys, we are back. And Jerry, daggone it, where's the big Superman on your chest? You got to have one to pull that off.
Well, you got to have a Superman Speedo.
Oh, is that what it is? If you wear a Speedo, does that get it done? Well, I tell you what.
It doesn't hurt.
Yeah, well, you guys, of course, you guys have got along for a long time, and you know each other real well, and your little wife is a doll, baby. I mean, she's as sweet as she could be, and I wish she had been able to join us because, but she has a family function, and we know how important those are.
Yeah.
But Terry's over here smiling. But anyway, you know, that's a pretty cool deal. Most ladies, they plan their weddings and their honeymoons and all that deal like traditional stuff.
Right.
You didn't hardly do that.
No, Julie and I met each other when we were working at the factory, and I mean, we just hit it right off. She loves cars, loves motorcycles, drag racing, anything, pretty much everything I do, and that helps a lot. And,
Yeah, I would say so. I would think, yeah, that didn't hurt
and
me.
I try to get her involved in everything that we do. She'll hang out in the garage with me and learn some things, and we got a hold of this '59 Chevy Parkwood wagon, and I told her, I said, let's do the power tour this year, and we got married in June 3rd, and the honeymoon was 2 weeks later, going on the tour, and we had a large time.
When I went to school with a guy in New York, and he was from Europe, and when he got married, he went on his honeymoon on a Vespa scooter with a mattress tied on the back all over Europe. Now, was there a mattress tied in the back of the wagon, or did we actually conventional stay in hotels and stuff?
No, we stayed in the hotels, but there is carpet back there.
Okay, all right.
That explains them rug burns.
That's
Your
right.
elbows,
That's right.
doesn't it?
That's right.
No, you're crazy.
Are you
guys
planning
are
on
nuts.
going back next year, Jerry?
Yes, sir.
Same thing?
We're gonna try to do 2016. We believe it's going to start where it finishes, which was outside of Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Okay. Where all did you go last year? Tell us where to start. and
We
finish.
started in Madison, Wisconsin, and then it went down through Chicago, St. Louis, Memphis, Gulfport, and then it worked its way over to Gonzales, which is just outside of Baton Rouge.
Okay.
And 7 days. 7 days, 7 cities.
What, but roughly 500 miles a day or something, or what
No, the longest run was probably about 300.
was it? Okay.
Yeah, but they put them in really quick, and so we actually, by the time that we finished and got back to Bowling Green, we'd done close to 3,000 miles.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
Do you guys all travel together? I mean, all the hot rods run together? Or you
No,
like meet at the same place that
they
night?
they take off in the morning about 7:30, 8 o'clock, and they will tour to the next venue, the next town, wherever everybody's meeting together, and pretty much everybody that's on the long haul part of it will meet there, and then everybody from that area, say Chicago, will come in and bring their cars, and so it's one great big car show.
So it's a different car show every night,
Yes,
basically.
yes.
Yeah. That's cool. And roughly how many people are on it on the long haul at once?
There's I think there's around 300.
Wow.
That's a bunch of
Or
cars.
more. Yeah,
that's a bunch of cars.
Now I know you can get the VIP parking, which you can park in the venue in the vendors row if you have the VIP, and I think there was only 100 and some spots for that, and then the long haul, I think they can have as many as they want.
Yeah.
But not everybody does long haul.
Do you have a lot of participants that just go, say, 200 or 300 miles, then
Oh yes.
come you
Yes.
hit a few cities and then come back?
Right. Yeah, when you leave one town, they'll take the back roads. They try to stay off the interstates. And what was really neat was the people that were on the side of the roads, waving, having signs. They got their cars sitting there, and they'll sit. And there were some little towns that we went through. They were actually feeding you.
Really?
Come on in, get you some
How
food.
cool is that?
And there was one that was giving out food, and it was a garage. And if you had any issues or something you need to work on your car, they'd let you come in. You could put it on the lift, no charge. It was real nice.
Well, everybody generally helps everyone out when someone does have car trouble.
Yes.
You,
You-
you don't pass them by if you see them sitting on the side.
Right. And they do have a follow-up truck that comes in behind.
I need that, man. Last year, well, I know our new Suburban's a little better. The other one was a tow truck driver car of the year. So
Yeah, we kept
did-
AAA. We kept AAA busy.
Yeah, on that last on the old one. No, we had to get rid of him. But I think that would be a fun thing. Maybe we ought to do that, T-Bone. We ought to try to do that in the Suburban and do a little bit of a radio show from each one.
That's kind of what I thought.
good.
That'd be a heck of
Yeah.
a show. We'd do one each night.
yeah,
That'd be
it'd
great.
fun.
Yeah. And what we did was I actually got on the internet, and I knew all the cities we were going to be in, and got a hotel reserved for each one. But I actually found out that you could actually go to that venue, but if you wanted to, instead of riding with everybody the next day or trying to play catch up or anything like that, you just go on to the next venue and get a hotel there.
Really?
and then meet up with
So
them.
you don't have to stay with the crowd. In other words,
Exactly.
you can just go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Spend your honeymoon by yourself somewhat.
That's right.
Yeah, there you go. Well,
That's where
I knew there was a
that's where the
plan
carpet
somewhere.
comes in.
That's where the carpet burns.
Yeah, I knew there had to be a plan somewhere. It had to work it out. So did Julie really get into doing that?
Oh yes, yeah, she loved it.
Really?
She loved it. We had a friend of ours that went with us that brought us 35 Chevy, and he went by himself, and he's in his 70s, and it was kind of tough for him. And I looked in the mirror, and I'd see him a couple times drifting off the road and getting sleepy, and so I'd stop and let her get in and drive his car, and he had air conditioning. We didn't have air.
Oh, wow.
We had all 5 windows down, rolling down the highway, doing it old school.
Yeah.
And she jumped in there, and she fell in love with that car.
See, now another thing, guys, that we haven't told you is that Julie and Jerry double drive on a long haul truck deal for right now to make a living. So you
right.
get to spend a lot of time together that way too, huh?
It works out. Julie and I are best friends.
Okay.
It's very important. And we are in a large straight truck. It's almost like a giant rider truck.
Okay.
That has a semi sleeper on it. And
There you go. Talk about that carpet again.
Rest areas, here we come. No,
yeah,
we're
but
just
but see, in the truck we've got a mattress.
Oh, okay. All right.
okay. All right. Yeah,
I've
you're
seen
first class.
inside that
truck.
truck. That's nice.
Yeah.
And we travel around the country, and you have to be able to get along with each other 24/7
Yeah.
in an area about the size of a cubicle.
Yeah.
And if you can do that, you can
Well,
make it.
I've
Means
always
you found a good one, or she's found a good one, vice versa.
It's vice versa.
Well,
She's
you
my
know,
guardian
I've
angel.
always professed on this marriage deal that anybody can fall in love an hour a day, but it's the other 23 that are a problem.
That's right.
And if you can get along the other 23, the 1 hour is sort of a piece of cake anyway.
That's right.
But that's pretty neat to be able to do that. Does her driving make you nervous?
It used to.
Did it?
Oh yeah, yeah. I couldn't sleep. It not necessarily her, but it would. I used to drive truck years ago and try to team drive, and I couldn't do it because I had to have the controls because I didn't want my life in somebody else's hands.
Right.
But Julie has turned into an awesome driver.
Really? Cool.
I taught her down here at the local scale house. We borrowed a truck and I taught her out there in the parking lot. She's doing great.
So you taught her how to do it, huh?
Yes.
Wow, well, that's pretty cool. That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Now, did she drive the wagon too? Or
Yep, she drove
So
it.
y'all doubled off there, right?
Yeah, she was scared to death to drive the wagon. And
Why?
She was nervous, didn't want to wreck it or anything. And I said, "Got any insurance? Drive it."
Yeah.
And she got in there, and after that, she loved it.
Well, ain't that cool?
She's
Isn't that
not scared
cool?
to get in it now.
Yeah.
Well, you ought to see her ride behind him on the motorcycle.
Oh,
I wouldn't get out of the electric chair to get behind him. No offense to you riding, Jerry, but I mean, he pulls a wheelie on a full-dressed Vulcan, I think. What is it
the
like?
Vaquero.
Right, okay.
And
Not
she
many
just
ladies
sits back
do
there
that.
and rides
Just sits back there
along.
and
Huh?
wheelies right along, yeah.
Oh,
and
boy.
that turbo Hayabusa, she loved it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. What a deal. Listen, we're going to take a real quick break. We're going to come back and stage 2 here. Our guest is going to start road racing a motorcycle. We're going to talk about that for a few minutes and learn all we know about that, because that's Terry's expertise, is the motorcycle racing, not mine. You're on Event Radio, guys. We're going to take a real quick break, and we'll be right back.
Quick Fuel Technology, the innovators in fuel systems, introduces the latest in high-temperature coating technology for select street and performance carburetors. QFT's new Black Diamond series features a unique satin black Teflon coating that provides award-winning good looks and lasting durability. The Black Diamond series is impact-resistant, repels all underhood chemicals, and reduces fuel temperature by 6% for improved performance. The Black Diamond series by Quick Fuel, the ultimate in form and function.
All right, guys, we are back on Event Radio, and they're laughing at me because of a little deal last night, but that's okay. You're actually gonna start road racing a bike. Have you ever done that?
I have not.
That's a great thing to start to do.
Oh yeah. I used to live with a buddy of mine down in Houston, Texas.
Oh, you
And,
watch him? Who's
and,
that?
yeah, I'd watch him, and he was really good at it. And
You think that would taught you how, or what?
no, actually, what taught me a lot, and which I shouldn't have been doing, but was out here on these back roads here in Kentucky. They are just
The roads that we ride on, Spill.
yeah, and
Well, you need to ride with Mr. Insano over here. You ride with him, and it's a whole new experience. I was behind him one day on a road that had to be where they filmed Deliverance. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
you know, the road is probably 3 feet wide,
Yep.
and nice houses with bus seats on the porch and no front doors and all that stuff. And we're running about 65 or 70. All of a sudden, he locks the bike up. And I'm looking for a ditch to go to or anything I can find to keep from hitting him. And I yell at him, "What are you doing?" He jumps off and he goes chasing a black snake. So to ride with him, that ought to teach you how to be a great road racer. You know, if somebody falls in front of you, he's the way to do it.
Well, I tell you, I've tried to ride with Jerry on them same roads, and he's quick. He's real quick. With Jerry
Y'all are
behind him,
crazy.
he's quick.
Y'all are crazy.
Well,
that's what the problem
that's
is.
the reason I want to do this, because now that the Corvette Museum has this racetrack out here,
So have you been around that?
I have not. I've seen them, I've watched them, and I run across this great deal on this motorcycle. The guy quit racing, and he let me have it for a great price. And
Is that some indication to you that it might not be what you think it's going to be?
No, I know what to expect, but it's it's something on my bucket list.
Oh, okay.
I've
All
only
right.
done the road racing one time, and that was back in '91. It was on the vintage BSA.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be honest, it's the most fun I have my clothes on in a long
Oh,
time.
yeah.
Didn't have to worry about dogs running in front of you or a
Gravel,
hole in the
anything
road,
like-
and
yeah.
you had ambulances there. It was a Talladega.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and it was really a great time, and sanctioned event, and I think
Yeah.
you're going to have a big time. Plus, the way I know you can ride, I think you're going to do real good.
Well, I hope so. I've never. Thank you. I've never dragged my knee before.
Well, have you raced
On purpose.
motorcycles before on some other venue or?
I have not. It's
Okay.
all been on the street,
Oh, okay.
all
All right.
on the back roads out
So
here.
you're the original motorcycle street outlaws, in other words.
Yes.
Is that what you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Now,
All right.
have I outrun the cops a few times? Well, I can't say, but
He has.
Only because the radios let you.
that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, you can outrun the cars, but you can't outrun the radio.
Yeah, that Motorola goes a long way.
Yeah, it's pretty quick.
What class should we be running, Jerry? Or
It's,
do you know
well,
yet?
to start out, they have track days out here, and
Okay.
there's a local guy here that runs the school. And on the first day, you'll go out and you'll do probably novice, and you go out and you learn the basics on how to set up for a turn, braking, flags, what each one means, and then you go out and there's like 9 20-minute sessions a day, and you go out and you learn more and more each time you go out. You get
When I did
yeah.
it being my first time, they had a orange sticker they put on the novices' helmets.
Okay.
I was expert dirt tracking, but first time I'd ever got my feet wet in road racing, and so I had a big orange sticker on my helmet. When somebody come up
Right.
to pass me, they'd know, watch out for this kid 'cause you don't know what he's doing.
Right. I don't know if they'll do that, but some of the other races I've seen, like in Birmingham, stuff like that, the guys are wearing orange vests.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I would think you would want that because you don't really know a seasoned rider. You know pretty much what he's going to do,
Right.
but the novice guys could do anything like stopping to chase a black snake,
Right.
or whatever. But I don't know. I don't know if I'd ever have enough nerve to do that or not.
I just think it's going to be a lot of fun. I've never ridden, without mirrors, and so you get out there, you don't have to worry about who's coming
well,
up
that's the
behind
first law of Italian road racing. What's behind you is not important.
you. Yeah.
That's what That's the first thing. It don't matter. I don't know. I can see where that would be a lot of fun. I know. I watched guys like Nicky Hayden and those guys
Oh, yeah.
on those bikes, and I know the tires are that good to lay them over that far.
Yep.
But boy, that seems freaky to me. That just blows my mind.
Yeah, yeah. If you look at them, that they've got to hang off the side of the bike because they're already at the edge of the tire, and so you can only go so far. And so the idea is to keep the bike up as vertical as you can, and still take the turn. And so you're shifting your weight back and forth on the bike all the time.
The guy that showed me, Jerry, he said when you think you've leaned as far as you could possibly lean, you can still go a whole lot farther with
Yeah.
the tires they've got today.
That's right.
And getting back to them stickers on the helmet there at Talladega, I was just very new to this, and every time the start finish line, this guy would come by me on this twin and get me right at the start finish line. It's about a quarter mile from the last corner. It was the left-handed corner, which I like better than the right-handed corner, of course. But the last lap, I threw both, having that big orange sticker on my helmet, I threw both feet like I was in a tank slapper. Well, he hesitated just enough that he didn't draft me across the line, so I got third place out of the deal, And he said, you pulled a no pro move on me right there, didn't you? You know,
That's pretty good.
it scared me to death. But anyway, it kind of worked. But we
Yeah.
may have to put some holes in it or throw some rocks out in the middle of the track where you feel
I
more
feel
at home.
comfortable.
Well, now, let me ask
Yeah.
you something, T-Bone. He's got 2 of these bikes. Are you going to ride one of them?
No, I'm gonna pit for him. I think
Oh, are you? Okay.
I'll be
yeah.
the one what holds the sign up and go.
Yeah.
Well, Julie's all in for this too, but she won't ride.
Well, she's going to be the pretty girl holding the umbrella. That's
Well,
what that
that's
is.
right.
I mean, that's what
That's right.
That's the only reason I want to go to one of those GPs. I watch Nikki Hayden and them. They got beautiful girls walking around holding umbrellas over
That's
them.
right.
You know, that's exciting.
And it's not even raining.
I know. Sun
Sunshine,
protection.
yeah.
That's a whole new kind of sunscreen, isn't it?
I'm going to have. I'm looking for right now I'm looking for a headset that I can wear in the helmet and I can
Okay.
talk to her
Okay.
because I know what it's like to sit out there and just watch everybody go around and you got nothing to do. So I thought if I had something to where we could talk to each other, then get her involved.
Yeah, yeah.
And just let
Well,
her.
now they've got those that work off of a telephone. That it's a telephone that actually mounts. I had one.
Yeah.
And I did it with like Bluetooth music.
Bluetooth, yeah.
Yeah, in there, and it had a microphone and all that stuff. Works really well.
Yeah.
Works good.
Yeah. And-
Blue Link or something like that's the name of it. I think I don't remember.
Okay.
But we put it in the helmet. There was nothing to it. Putting it in there, it was
Right.
easy, and you didn't even know it was there,
Right.
which is pretty cool.
And everyone out there listening to this that wants to help this young man out with some sponsorship, a motorcycle racer always needs some help.
Oh well, yeah, no doubt about it. Yeah, they need
Yeah.
Any
mental,
kind of racer,
mental help
any
too.
kind
That's
of
what-
racer always needs help.
Yeah, I'm talking to the company we drive for now for some
Okay.
sponsorship too.
And who is that?
It's called Try Hours.
Okay.
It's out of Maumee, Ohio,
Okay.
and we drive all over the country. We're delivering whatever we can get in the back of the truck.
Uh-huh.
Tomorrow we're leaving for Los Angeles,
Wow.
and we got to stop in Memphis, pick up, and then we're heading to Los Angeles, and then it could be
Don't know
anywhere.
where you'll go from there, huh?
No.
That's got to be a pretty cool way to make a living. I mean, I don't know how you pack just to live there, or what? I mean, like to live in a truck, or what?
Yeah. You pack for about 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
And then, of course, the truck stops have laundromats and showers and all that.
Where's the nicest truck stop in the country?
The nicest
Yeah,
one,
which, in your opinion?
it would probably have to be one of the Petros.
Okay.
I know Petro and TA own each other, but the Petro has, I think they're a little better.
Uh-huh.
They're
There's your new sponsorship for your deal.
Yeah, I'd talk to them too.
Yeah, okay.
The food's really good. The
Well,
salad
you
bars
can
are good.
always count on truck stop food being good.
Yep.
Yeah, we've stopped at a bunch of them.
Oh, buddy, I'm telling you, and actually, that's where Stacy and I had Thanksgiving lunch. We went to a truck stop and had lunch there, and it was great.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that good as anywhere you'd go. You know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's I can tell you a cute story about a truck stop with you being a trucker. This will be fun. When I did this back years ago, of course, we used a dually and a fifth wheel trailer. And in truck stops, guys, if you have not been in them, there is a trucker section strictly that you have to drive a big truck to be able to sit in.
Right.
Well, I'd been all over the country and never had been able to do that. And we wound up buying a tractor trailer in Nashville to haul a race car in. So we came back out of Nashville, came up to Bethel Road. There was a Union 76 truck stop.
Okay.
The guys following me, I pulled off. They said, "What's wrong? Is something torn up about the truck?" I said, No, everything's fine. They said, "Well, what are you doing?" I said, "Come on." They said, "Why?" I said, "Come on." We went in there. They said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Hey, we're going to sit in the trucker section, have a cup of coffee. I got a truck, and I've been all over the country. Now I get to do it." So it's a different deal, but the coffee does taste the same, guys. I promise
Oh, yeah.
you, it's not any different. But we actually pulled that, and you really haven't lived until you've tried to learn to drive an 18-wheeler on Broadway in downtown Nashville.
Oh my. Yeah.
That was a thrill. I almost put a guy over one of those bridges, but they do have little windows in the doors where you can see. But the guy in the Buick is probably still cussing me. After
Well, you
this many
guys
years.
got stopped coming off Mount Eagle, didn't you? Whether packing too much alcohol or
Well, no, actually, one of our guys got on the radio saying that we had a whole trailer load of nitro.
Oh.
Okay,
And
well,
it was
the funny
actually
story-
nitromethane is what it was for the race car. But there were trucks pulled off and blue lights. There were more blue lights than a Kmart blue light special at the bottom of the hill. and we actually did get in a little bit of trouble over that one.
Yeah,
But There was 2 or 3 little things, but I learned a lot. Boy, I learned a lot about trucking with an old race car.
Oh yeah. Well,
And
you know what that little window down there is for? Don't you?
No, what?
Yeah. So when the people are going by on your right hand side, they could flip you off down through that little window, and you can still see it.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay. I wondered what that was. Do the DOT guys always play fair?
Now, this is going to be heard by a lot of people.
Yeah.
Jerry.
They used to be really bad.
The reason I'm saying that, I got messed over by one with the race car rig, and I was just curious if it was any that way or
It's not as bad. I quit driving for about 16 years.
Okay.
And then I got back into it a couple of years ago, and it has changed a lot. All of it has changed, and the DOT. It seems like they have regular working hours now. It used to be that you'd find them open, in the middle of the night or something like that, pulling people in and doing inspections.
what happens if you don't stop?
They will come get you.
No, they will come
Yeah,
get you. Yeah.
they will come get
How
you.
do they know if there's a whole line?
Well, if there's a whole line and you go by, then
It's cool.
yeah,
It's okay.
Yeah, but if you deliberately go by one,
Yeah.
that
Now here's another story, guys. The reason I'm asking, and I figure I can tell where this was. This was coming out of Shelby County in Memphis, Tennessee. Race car trailer, 36 foot, fifth wheel trailer and a dually. We get pulled over by a DOT guy. Nice fella. He said, "What do you have in the trailer?" I said, "A race car." He said, "You care if I look at it?" I said, "No, sir, not at all." I opened the trailer. He goes in and looks at it. So this is really cool. Said, "Where'd you race?" I told him we ran at Lakeland Raceway in Memphis, Tennessee. He said, "How'd you do?" I said, "Hey, man, we won the race." He said, "Really?" He said, "What'd you win?" I said, "About $1,000." He said, "Good, that makes it commercial." Now he got me for fuel permits. If guys, for this little word of wisdom, if you're towing a race car anywhere in this country and you happen to get stopped, you don't win money. You
race
win
for a
trophies.
trophy.
You win trophies. You do not win money, because money makes it a whole new classification of a commercial vehicle. So after 700 of my 1,000 winning, I paid on fines. I learned that real quick. So that's the reason I was asked about the DOT. But it's true. It's the truth.
Yeah,
A lot of fun though.
They're pretty good. I mean, they're not, as bad as they were years ago.
Okay.
And my dad drove truck too, and they were just awful. I mean, they would they'd ream you a new one, but now it's gotten a little better.
How fast will a tractor trailer really run?
Well, it depends on whose it is and how they have it governed. The one we have, they have it set at 70.
Okay.
And we run 68.
Okay.
And because our fuel mileage is right in there, we're getting about 9.5, 10 to the gallon.
Okay.
So
if you save fuel, do you make more money?
that's in our pocket. We have to pay for the fuel.
Oh,
we
I
do a
got you.
60-40 split with the company. We get
Oh, I see.
60%, but we have to pay for the fuel.
I see.
But they pay for the tags,
The truck and
that's all the maintenance and all that's theirs.
yeah. Okay.
So-
I wondered how that worked.
When Spivey and I used to travel, everyone was using the CBs.
Oh, yeah.
You was talking about people being stopped at the weigh stations. Now, I guess you get a heads up before you get there, don't you?
Yeah,
Before they stood
believe it or
blasting
not,
on by.
that was one of the main things that I noticed when we got back in the truck is nobody uses the radio anymore.
Is that right?
It's quiet. It's quiet.
Do
And
they use cell phones?
oh yeah, well, it's illegal to use a cell phone unless you have a headset in a truck.
Oh, okay.
You can't
Okay.
talk on it on the radio or on the phone. No texting.
Oh, of course, no
anything like
texting.
But
yeah.
in a commercial vehicle, you have to have a headset, a hands-free setup.
Isn't that cool?
Well, that movie, Smokey and the Bandit, wouldn't have been worth a darn without CB radio.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, that would have been
they're still out there, and about the only time you ever hear them get on the radio is if you get in a traffic jam or something like that. Everybody's wanting to know which lane to get into to get around, and I know a lot of people out there wonder how come trucks get into if there's a construction area coming up or something like that, and you'll find two trucks holding up traffic.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because what they're doing is they're trying to keep the vehicles from sneaking all the way up there to where they have to merge in.
Yeah, people shouldn't
It
do
just-
that. If you
it-
just sit there and ride, you can go through there a lot faster.
Yeah, and if everybody would start getting over early, when they first start seeing those signs, you wouldn't have those backups.
Yeah, I've noticed that a lot.
And a lot of people like the straw man and the Wizard of Oz. If I only had a brain,
Yeah, some of them don't have one.
That's right.
Some of them don't have one.
Jerry's told me a couple stories that we can't tell on here, but there's some idiots out there driving, Spivvy.
Oh, listen, no, I run into them myself. I mean, they're you wonder how some of them tie their shoes.
Oh, yeah.
The election's coming up, and there's a bunch of issues, and one of them is a concealed carry permit. And I sort of agree with what's going on. They say that if you have a driver's license, you should be able to have one of those, because a gun is not any more dangerous than a 3,000-pound car.
That's
I
right.
mean, you can kill somebody with that thing real
right.
quick.
Sure.
And there are a lot of people that really don't need a driver's license.
No,
but they have them.
Of course, in a commercial vehicle, it's illegal to have a gun
Yeah.
in there. But we're hoping that someday they're going to loosen up on that.
Well, you got those things you beat the tires with, though.
Oh, yeah.
That would hurt you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. But that's funny.
He is
I didn't know
6 foot long.
I didn't know that you couldn't have a pistol in a truck.
When he
It's
told me that,
it's a federal.
Really?
Yeah.
federal deal.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Can't do that. Wow. What else can you not do that you would think you could?
Leave all the good drugs at home.
No, you can't do that.
They really don't prefer you. They don't like you when you drive naked. They don't. Now maybe Julie.
Julie gets high. By the way, we're talking about
That's what the little window's for in the side of the truck.
we were
That's what
talking about the CB radios. What is Julie's handle she goes by?
She is Mother Trucker.
Mother Trucker. Okay.
And Mother Trucker. Okay. All right. Guys, we got to take another real little quick break. This is a lot of fun, and we're learning a lot here, guys, along with finding out about the power tour, the honeymoon, the motorcycle racing. We're getting an education on trucks at the same time. You're on Event Radio. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Quick Fuel Technology, the innovators in fuel systems, introduces the latest in high-temperature coating technology for select street and performance carburetors. QFT's new Black Diamond series features a unique satin black Teflon coating that provides award-winning good looks and lasting durability. The Black Diamond series is impact-resistant, repels all underhood chemicals, and reduces fuel temperature by 6% for improved performance. The Black Diamond series by Quick Fuel, the ultimate in form and function.
Guys, we're back on Event Radio. These guys are terrible. Thank goodness we can shut this off, is all I can tell you. We were talking, Jerry, there's got to be a cool trucker story, something that you guys see stuff in this country that none of us get to see, and there's got to be one. Can you share with us one?
Well, I don't know if it's really cool, but it's a story that it happened a few weeks ago out in California.
Okay.
We were coming through Sacramento, San Bernardino, and we're cruising along, and we have two axles, of course, the front and then the axle in the back, and then there's 5 lanes.
Okay.
The HOV lane, carpool lane.
Yeah.
And then we're somewhere. Okay, in California, if you're pulling a trailer, or if you have, let's see, if you're a semi or any vehicle, anything, you can only do 55.
Okay.
That's it, and you're allowed in the right 2 lanes.
Okay.
Now, with our truck, since we're not pulling a trailer and we have less than 3 axles, we can be in any of the lanes.
Okay.
And that includes the HOV lane.
Oh, okay. All right.
And we were out. We weren't in the HOV lane, but we were in the 5th lane or the 4th lane, and we're tooling along. And all of a sudden, this little car comes around me, and he gets in front of me and he jumps on the brakes.
Wow. That's real smart, stopping in front of a big truck right there.
Yeah, he was in this little green Honda. And
Why did he do that?
well, what he rolled his window down and started pointing to the right over his window, wanting us to get over where he thinks we ought to be in those right 2 lanes. And so I move over 1 lane, and he goes on. Well, I get right back in that lane, and then here he comes. He did it again. And we were coming up behind another straight truck, and he had to slow down for him, and so I went on around him and got around that straight truck. Well, he come around me, and he got on the brakes again, and he was flipping us off and all that.
That meant y'all was number 1, I thought.
Oh, yeah. And this time he hit us.
Really?
Yeah, he backed off. He jumped on the brakes hard enough to where he hit our front bumper. So we pulled off to the side, and I didn't say anything. I got on, called the law, and he sat up in his car, and then Julie got out, took pictures and all this, and he had this great big dent in the driver's side quarter panel in the back, and I thought we did that, and excuse me, and so I finally get done talking to the police, and I get out, and I go over and start taking pictures, and he gets out. He's got a set of scrubs on, and I said, "What are you doing?" He said, "Well, you're not supposed to be in that lane." I said, "You are not a cop." And I said, "If you read the law, I can be in that lane, and I can be in the HOV lane, too."
Yeah.
I said, "I've got 2 axles, and I'm not pulling a trailer." And his face just dropped. And
He didn't know what he was doing.
And I said, "The cops will be here, and they'll tell you the same thing." And he ended up taking his camera out and showing it to the cop that dent was already in his car.
So he's not too bright either, huh?
Yeah. And so wherever we hit him in that bumper, maybe one of them 5-mile-an-hour bumpers that he has on
Yeah.
and it must have popped back out because there wasn't anything on it.
But why do people do that? I mean, why do they think that they're...
It's just road rage. They just think they can run the road and
All right, there's a big problem, and we've talked about this. Deer are a terrible problem in Kentucky, and probably in a lot of other states too. But in Kentucky, around deer season, it's a nightmare. There are more deers hit than anything going. And you sit there and say that there are specific times. Is that correct?
Well, that's kind of what the schedule that I see traveling around. Pennsylvania is really bad. It's worse than Kentucky.
Really?
Yeah, it's by the next morning they are laying everywhere, and I found that from 10 p.m. to about 1 a.m. is when they're out the worst, because they will graze right up to the edge of the shoulder, and then all of a sudden they'll just take off. And if you blow your horn at them or something like that, it spooks them, and boom, here they come.
Uh-huh.
So your best bet is to just keep your eyes peeled and
Get by them as quick as you can.
yeah, if you got somebody sitting up with you, let them watch for deer too. And if you see them, don't bright light them and don't lay on the horn. Just kind of move over or something and just slow down and watch them. And what I've learned is that if one goes across, there's going to be another one.
Oh, okay.
So I always watch for the second one.
I got you.
Well, a lot of your experience riding motorcycles probably taught you
Yes,
that,
sir.
too.
Yes, sir. That's usually with dogs.
Dogs, okay.
Yeah, there's usually 2 of them.
Yeah. No, well, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Is it? Are they worse during deer season?
Yeah, because they're moving around because of the hunters
And they're
They're
running.
getting shot at. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're scared. you know?
and they're moving around and they're having to get into newer areas that they usually don't.
Because
travel.
you can just drive even here, and you can drive certain times of the year you never see a deer.
Right.
And then other times, I mean, it's like a homecoming. You know, I mean, they're everywhere.
All over. Yep.
I don't know. That's scary. That's wild to me.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So
And we've seen some deer out there that have been hit and their heads are gone.
you're kidding.
They're cut off.
Oh, you mean they cut them off and leave the deer there?
Yeah, they cut them off, and it either had a really good rack on it or something like that.
That's
or,
crazy.
Yeah.
That's a bunch of stuff.
yeah.
I think
Makes more sense than sitting in a tree at 3 o'clock in the morning to me.
I don't know. I don't think me sitting in a tree pouring deer urine all over me is the way I'd want to spend a Sunday morning. I mean I could think of something better.
I've been called kinky, but that's just above my
Yeah,
head.
yeah, me too. I don't think that would be me. There's a lot of deer hunters out there, guys, and we're certainly not trying to unblow your balloon.
No.
But if that's what you enjoy,
Shoot 'em
then,
off.
Yeah, go do it. That'll just keep us from hitting one.
Yeah, the insurance companies will thank you.
Yeah, right. That might get you a.
Well, it'd take a pretty good sized deer to hurt your truck, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we've got
depending on where you hit it at.
we've got a chrome steel bumper on front, and so it'd take a pretty good size one to get up into the hood.
You got a deer slayer decal or anything? No, that's what, no. I'm just playing.
Actually, with this kind of truck, we'll go out and look for elk.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
You're gonna get it. You're gonna be a bear, be a grizzly, right? You're gonna get a good one.
Right.
So, Jerry has been in the car show business. You've been in the motorcycle business. Now you're going to be a motorcycle racer. What else have you done? Everything. Drag racing. You said you did some drag racing.
I did some drag racing. I used to work for Quick Fuel Technology out here.
We sort of like those guys. They're one of our major sponsors. Man, there is no better company than Quick Fuel.
Well, you know quite a bit about transmissions, too.
Yeah. I worked on transmissions for years, and I've always messed with cars. My dad did. He raced sprint cars, not the Outlaws, but the old sprint cars, and then stock cars. He'd do on, I think it was either Saturday or Sunday night. He'd do one or the other, and he drove truck. And when he came in for the weekend, That's what he'd do. He'd be racing.
Isn't that wild? You drive for a living, then you drive a race car on
yeah.
the weekend, boy.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Well, yeah. I guess you do that to unwind. You know?
Yeah, probably so. Yeah.
But I remember Dad having a 55 Chevy that was down there, and both his numbers were number 9.
Oh,
And he his car was orange, and I'd go with him every time they'd go racing. And this was up in Minnesota.
Have fun, huh?
Oh yeah.
Now, let me ask you something. Is Miss Julie going to try to race a motorcycle? She does everything else.
She will not.
You won't let her.
No, I will. She can do anything she wants, but she just, it's like the go-karts when we got the go-karts together.
Right.
She saw me driving that and said, hell no.
I'm not doing that, huh?
She said no.
So you and Terry actually did the shifter cart thing, and you know, I'm glad I'm my size that I am, because that saves me a lot of money, because I'd be in there with you bums. That's all there is to it.
It's just
I never could do it correctly, but it was what little I did do. It was an awesome amount of fun.
Well, I
Yeah,
can imagine.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, them guys are the ones that are fast are so not only fast, they're talented.
Oh yeah.
I mean, as far as
you
shift
look at
break,
you look at a guy
shift
named
break.
Chad Lee and
Chad
watch
Lee,
him.
exactly.
Boy, he's the best
Cary
of the
Graham.
best.
Cary
Graham's the best.
Richard too.
Yeah, Richard Basham. Those boys. If you go to a track, guys, and you see any one of those 3 guys out there racing, you need to stop and watch, because they
Yep,
do
they
a
know
great
what they're
job.
doing.
And Cary, I have fun with Cary. Cary, along with being a world champion shifter kart racer, he has a Corvette road race car.
Mm-hmm.
And we keep kidding him that we want to buy the tires and him go out there and spank Corvette racing, because he could do it in a street car.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because he's better than any of those
Yeah,
guys.
Cut
Yep.
better
You know.
times than
Oh,
they
yeah.
have.
Yeah, he runs better times in a street car with street tires
Oh, yeah.
than they do in their full race cars.
You think
And-
you think since he runs that Graham Studio, taking pictures and all that, he's got like a selfie stick?
I don't know what he does. I guess he does. I don't know. He knows how to do everything else. I guess he can do that. I don't know. We're going to take another real quick break, guys, and we're going to close this thing out and get the final thoughts of what's going on. You're on Event Radio. We've had just too much fun so far. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Quick Fuel Technology, the innovators in fuel systems, introduces the latest in high-temperature coating technology for select street and performance carburetors. QFT's new Black Diamond series features a unique satin black Teflon coating that provides award-winning good looks and lasting durability. The Black Diamond series is impact-resistant, repels all underhood chemicals, and reduces fuel temperature by 6% for improved performance. The Black Diamond series by Quick Fuel, the ultimate in form and function.
Now, we're back, guys, from Event Radio, and our buddy Jerry has joined us. You said that the motorcycle was on your bucket list. What else is on the bucket list?
We want to go see Mount Rushmore,
Okay.
Statue of Liberty,
Okay.
Hoover Dam,
Okay.
a lot of our national monuments.
Okay.
There's
I presume you've been through Mammoth Cave. That's one of the 7 wonders of the world. So, and it's right here in your back door.
haven't done it.
Well, you need to do that.
Haven't done it, and it's funny how many people haven't done the local thing that's around here, like Lost River Cave and things like that.
Well, we're gonna. And the reason I asked that, you said your dad did sprint cars. We're getting ready to do a show with a fellow by the name of Dennis Collins, and Dennis is an old time buddy of mine, and Dennis is a sprint car guy.
Okay.
And he lives in Horse Cave, Kentucky, and Dennis Richard Petty has 200 feature wins. Dennis has 400.
Oh my!
And very modest, very much guy. But his granddaddy's brother is Floyd Collins, the fellow that was lost in the cave that actually is one of the guys that founded Mammoth Cave.
Oh,
So
wow.
it'll be a pretty good show. We'll get
Yeah.
Dennis and calm him down, and he's such a good guy. He just won't do it. You
Actually,
know?
they've got one of his old midget cars there at the speed center.
Yeah,
in
one of his old
Oh.
quarter midgets in the Kentucky Motorsports Hall of Fame.
Okay.
And Dennis is just a great guy and a heck of a driver. It's funny, he drives a school bus and all the kids want to be on Mr. Collins' bus, you know, because he's been on
because
TV.
he wears
all
a
the-
crash helmet.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So mainly the parks, the national parks and stuff. Is that it, or is there another wild adventure like the motorcycle racing or
don't
something
know
like
yet.
that?
It hasn't come along yet.
No skydiving, no.
Well, I've thought of that too, and
I
but
would
don't.
recommend that.
I don't know.
Terry
if I
has
get Julie
done
to
that.
do that or not.
Yeah, I don't know why you'd jump out of a perfectly good airplane. That doesn't make sense to me.
Well, I don't know. Maybe T and I could go do it together, and if I see him fly by me, I'll just tear mine off and say, "You want to race, huh?"
Hey, well, no, y'all go ahead because I've seen Julie. You can leave her with me. That's all right. I will be up in an airplane, and if I ever do get in an airplane with either one of you guys, there is no way in the world you're going to get me out of it. Listen, my friend, thank you so much for joining
Well,
us
thank
on
you.
Event Radio.
Yeah.
This has been a lot of fun. we've had a lot of time to try to put this together. T and I have tried to slow you down long enough to get you on here, and we finally worked it out.
Well, he's never in town long enough.
Yeah, he's really not, but we've enjoyed it. This is fun when you can use this thing and you get to talk to old friends and you find out a lot of stuff about them that you really didn't even know. That makes it a good time.
He'll really be gone a lot now playing with this motorcycle racing.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
What any kind of racing, if you're moderately wealthy if you're a millionaire, it'll make you moderately wealthy. Is that
That's
it
right.
or whatever?
That's right.
Anyway,
Well, when I get time, when I'm not racing or trucking, we've got the 59 that we're piddling with, and then we got a 59 Belvedere
yeah,
that I'm working on. That it's the factory inline 6 on it.
okay.
But we're building we're going to put a T4 turbo on it.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm having all the welding, stainless
that
steel
stuff
welding
done.
and stuff done. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
I've traveled
Well-
with this boy before, and he'll be going along, and you think he's mad at you, but he's sitting there thinking. His mind's always working, running on something,
Yeah.
And but I sit and just look over at him, and I think, well, I ain't made him mad, I know. And then he'll say something about a turbo or something. He's got to figure it out in his head what he's going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could have
That's
said
good.
something about our trip to Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all don't need to be out on the road together very long. No, T doesn't play well with others, so you don't need to do that. Well,
Yeah.
please tell Miss Julie that we missed her, and
I
we're
will.
sorry she couldn't be with us. But this has been fun, and thank you so much. As always, guys, we never end our show without thanking our sponsors. They're the people that are most important to us than anybody else. The great guys at Beach Bend Park, Beach Bend Raceway, and Beach Bend Splash Lagoon.
Quick Fuel Technology, of course.
And the guys at Final Finish, the coolest body place in the world. They come out with some of the most awesome cars you've ever seen. Of course,
Jimmy B over at Gearhead Gazette.
Gearhead Gazette. Yeah, man. Anytime you want to go anywhere and you want to find the coolest spot to go, just get on GearheadGazette.com. And our buddy Jimmy B will tell you who, what, when, and where about everything that's going on in the country, and you can get there and look. We've had fun, guys. We're going to do a bunch of stuff like this and bring you some folks that we think are really cool, and we hope you get to enjoy them as much as we get to enjoy bringing them to you. T-Bone, what do you think? Should we ride?
I'll say 10-4 there, good buddy.
Yeah, there you go. We got to learn this trucker
Oh,
lingo
no,
now.
no, they don't say that no
Don't
more.
say that
They don't
oh,
say-
no, that's got a whole new meaning.
Oh, okay, all right. Well,
stay
we're
away
sort
from that one.
of lost in the 50s,
It's-
guys. Yeah, you're on Event Radio, guys, and we will talk again.
All right.
You've been listening to Event Radio, covering local drag racing, stock car racing, motorcycles, go-karts. If it's got wheels and you can race it, you heard about it here. Event Radio is motorsports radio on steroids. Join us next time with your hosts, Spivey Williams and Terrible T Guy.